So what, according to you, are the three major trends for 2019?
So the first major trend that we're seeing and across the globe is sustainability, and this has been driven by consumer interest in the environment around them. There's been a lot of press and a lot of interest in how the products we use are affecting the environment. So this can be through packaging, through ingredients as well, such as microplastics, and consumers are really looking to cut back on those kind of products. So we've seen launches from Lush in the UK especially with packaging-free products, so looking at foundation and lipsticks, but also opening packaging-free stores completely as well. Sustainability can also really affect the materials that we're using for any packaging as well. So we're seeing a lot more degradable packaging as well. And ingredients that come from waste. So different perfumes, for example, or oils made from waste fruit. So juice pulp, etc. So using the stones from fruit to extract further oils and to extract further ingredients as well. The second trend that we've seen is the interest in science-led beauty. So the idea that consumers have been interested in health and wellness for quite some time is now evolving, and consumers have so much information at their fingertips that they're really looking to brands that use this information and can prove the claims that they make as well. So we've seen a lot of use of adaptogenic ingredients, use of, for example, CBD is really growing at the moment. So looking at natural ways that fit in with the vision of holistic wellness that also have a scientific background. This also manifests in the way that consumers are listening to influencers. It's no longer that much about social media influencers, but they're looking to doctor-led brands or anybody who is a proven expert to give them the information that they need. And the third trend that we see is very much about the modern single consumer. So rather than previously making small packages that suit single-use products, now we're seeing single consumers making it much more about personalization and adapting to different moods. So previously, where one size solution would fit all, one skin cream would be enough for a consumer, now it's a lot more about, well, you know, my skin will differ from day to day, so what is it that I need to change within my routine to really optimize what I'm doing for my own self-care? And this also is reflected in their choices when it comes to fragrances. So choosing different fragrances for different moods or special occasions, rather than having a signature fragrance or a single product that they rely on. It's about how do we give a single consumer as much choice as possible, but on the sort of single person budget that they have. And this is driven by the fact that we expect to see single person households grow across the globe. And this is sort of data from the OECD that we're seeing, and households by 2030 in Western Europe and especially Asia. We're seeing a lot more single-person households than in the past.
Are there any products in this particular trend that you find particularly interesting?
So there are a lot of different ranges now that are especially looking at the mix and match opportunity. So ranges by brands like Alex Caro, looking at a 5-piece range and all of those different products, such as an exfoliating powder, a serum, and a day cream, can be mixed together to create a mask or to create a bit of extra moisture in a day cream, for example. We're also seeing that in technology as well. So Shiseido's Optune dispenser has been discussed and is shown online. The concept being that the the machine will sort of diagnose your skin and your skin needs that day, as well as the weather outside, for example, the pollution index, and will dispense the optimum dose of serums and moisturizers depending on what your skin needs are.
And if you look at the other trends, what are some intriguing examples for those?
So, as I said, beauty with the brain, we've seen a lot of CBD. In terms of, there are brands, especially looking at the use of hemp oil. We've seen salves. Really, so rather than specific brands, it's more about the ingredients that are being used. So Yuyo Botanics has a turmeric and hemp oil salve, which brings a more of a medicinal idea to beauty, looking at a short-term and a long-term anti-inflammatory effect. So rubbing it on your elbows or where you maybe have joint pain. But it's still a lovely smelling fragrance, but it's the idea that kind of conditioning effect and the sort of the omega oils and fatty acids can really help any inflammation. So we also see that in scalp care as well, for example, looking at anti-inflammation ingredients for people who suffer from dandruff and an itchy scalp.
And apart from Lush, what are other exciting examples in the field of sustainability?
Sustainability, I think, is really being driven by a lot of niche brands, but we are seeing brands like seed phytonutrients. So larger players are, starting to get involved and looking to these niche brands to try and look more into their own sustainability. So seed phytonutrients, for example, is very transparent about their process. Their outer packaging can be planted, or there contains a packet of seeds that you can then plant into the ground and almost sort of complete the cycle of buying products, but then planting something back into the ground and giving back to nature. So we're seeing a lot of brands start to do those, and a lot of mass brands looking to help as well. Unilever's Love Beauty and Planet, their new brand that they launched is now in hair care, it's in skin care, and it's starting to expand into lifestyle and home care as well. And their bottles are made from recycled plastic. They also contribute to a carbon fund to kind of to create a more carbon neutral atmosphere based on the carbon they're emitting from transit, and they source all of their ingredients sustainably as well through their suppliers, making sure that they're giving to local cooperatives in countries where the ingredients are harvested.